Houston, we have a problem. So my Monarda, my bee balm, has funk, has powdery mildew. Ew, funky. There's a fungus among us. All right, so it's got a funk. And, you know, I didn't do a whole lot of research on bee balm, but then I found this and I started looking it up. I remember that I do believe my echinacea got this one year. So as you can see, it's quite crowded down in here. Like it's really thick. So I was reading online and it says to cut back 1/4 of your stems in the spring and all the way down to the ground, and that'll help with airflow. Okay, and then in a previous video, I also mentioned that I need to, you can tell I'm just not getting, I'm not getting, see all that? See how crowded that is? I'm not getting the flow of air through there that I need. So I'm going to take a lot of that out of there. So let's go look and see the things that I can sacrifice. So medicinally, this is my mugwort up here. I have a group up here, and then I have a small group over there. So I really don't want to let go of much of my mugwort. I'll cut down some of it. Sadly, these thistles right here in this corner are going to have to go. As busy as those thistles will become for my feeders and pollinators, that group of it has to go. Okay, this is just more mugwort. We've got some native bee balm over here. I'm going to try to save it. I'm going to also try to save that rocket because that really does work well for my early, very early spring butterflies and pollinators. And then this, y'all, I'm sorry to say, I don't even remember what it is. It's soft. It's like a cross between lamb's ear and mullein, and it's tall, but I don't remember what it is. So I'm gonna leave a group of it just to find out what it is. And then I think we'll take this thistle out, and I'll probably leave that thistle. And then I don't see anything else other than this stuff. I don't remember what it is, but the leaves are so interesting, and they're getting ready to send up little shoots. And I'm gonna have to look that up and see what that is. I'm gonna save a small group of that. So everything, I think this is just fleabane, which you already saw. I saved some fleabane somewhere else, so we don't need that. And these very busy, deeply lobed, whatever this is. What is this, ragweed or something? I don't know. That's gonna come out. All right, there's quite a bit. And then we'll just put in our zinnias and blazing stars for our stars and stripes up here. And the reason why the zinnia is stripes is because I'm planting candy stripe zinnia and a couple of herbs up in here and some a little bit of a seed dump, and then we're going to mulch the mullein and the yeah, those the big pink flowers, peonies. We're going to mulch those down. All right, let's start pulling some stuff out of here and opening up some air. I cut about 1/4 of each plant out of there at the ground level, and then I'm also going to wash my hands. I'm going to change gloves. I'm going to use alcohol on my clippers so I don't spread this, because it is a funk and you don't want to spread it to the rest of your garden. I really don't want to see my echinacea catch another dose of this. And then I'm just going to leave these out in the sun, let them dry, and then I'm going to burn them up in my chimney. Put that little toad in there. You see his eye? He didn't get displaced. He got an upgrade. He was living in the mugwort patch. Probably a wise old toad. Oh yeah, much better. So we ended up with 8 peonies, 1, 2, 3 mullein, and a bunch of baby mullein, and 1 rather hefty toad, and a whole lot more butterflies. So now they're all over the coreopsis at this point. They got too crowded on the roof. All right, so I did this wagon 3 times, this full. Now all I need to do is mulch, and I have to bear in mind that peonies don't like their feet all covered up. So you can mulch around them, but you still have to leave their stems sort of bare. Kind of like, treat them kind of like strawberries. Whew. And then we got to put in our plants. All right, my new toad friend is chilling behind me. It's so cool that I have a toad living up here. I don't know what's going on with the butterflies. They're just having a blast over there. They are nectaring that bush up. So I got a package of Blazing Stars Liatris. I'm gonna call them Blazing Stars because I was supposed to have 16. I actually ended up with 17 in the bag, and I'm gonna make 17 wishes as I plant them along this inner row right here. And then behind the Blazing Stars, which for those who don't know, it's just like a green spike with purple flower on top. And they do grow native for me. In fact, they grow right around the corner up here. And then I think on the row right behind that, I'm working with 3 feet by 10 feet. I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and do Cosmos. Look at that color, Dazzler. Oh, it's gonna be so beautiful. And then something called Zinnia Cut and Come Again. I don't know if they just called it that or what, but it looks like a different kind of zinnia to me. They look a lot smaller. So I was pretty excited about this. So this is Back to the Roots, Zinnia Cut and Come Again. Heirloom zinnias. That's pretty cool. Okay, and then behind them in the last row, in the shortest row, the farthest south, is going to be another packet of butterfly flower. And I was reading about the monarchs, and they should have come through by now, and they haven't. So I'm really sad for my monarchs right now. So I'm going to go ahead and plant that seed packet along with the zinnia. See my hand. The zinnia candy cane. Look at those stripes. So yeah, Stars and Stripes garden. So let me get all that in, then we'll mulch around the peonies. I think we're gonna call that done. Got it mulched down for the most part. Greatly increased the square footage of the Pollinator garden, so that's pretty cool. I don't think I have to do an upgrade for the Monarch way station. I'll go online and look, but I don't think I have to. They have my number and all my info. So yeah, I got in the 3 rows, put in the Liatris and all the other flower seeds that you saw me talk about earlier. Mulched where I could. Where I didn't mulch, I did a bit of a seed drop. So mostly just old zinnia seed from last year. Some of my favorites. Replanted those, and then zinnia and basil up here. Then our little mystery flower over here. Left some bee balm in a couple of spots. Left some rocket. Left this little mystery plant here, and we'll figure out what that is. Some more native bee balm, and I think I said 8 peonies. Tiny little bit of bee balm right there. All the peonies, all the mullein, everything's mulched down where I can mulch it down. 3 new rows, and I made a new friend, a little toad. He's living over there in that castle. All right, this was another great garden, all done. Stars and Stripes, and an expansion on the Monarch way station. So one last look at the butterflies. Y'all say have a good night, and we will turn off the butterfly light. Much love and light. Blessed butterfly.